minute. I didn't want to set the full 2-minute timer, so I just set it just a little over a minute. It's gonna be time to finish up what I'm working on. And let me go ahead and see who is online. My granddaughter was in my phone, so I got all these crazy apps open.
For all your grocery needs, check out.
Powers of Grayskull dinosaurs. All right, so let me turn off this phone before I forget. There's the off button. All right, so somebody online told me about this really cool dinosaur on at Target. I thought, okay, I got to get that. I got to check that out. So there he is. We'll pull him out of the box, open him up, and compare him. Now, the reason why I got him was because of this big beast right here that we all dreamed about, that's supposed to come out in the 80s, and how cool that would have been to have this giant dinosaur. Now, I actually got a big dinosaur one time already. I started with this guy here, which is a pretty massive beast of a dinosaur. And the nice part is he can actually swallow smaller action figures, which is kind of cool. And after he swallows them, you can actually pull the action figure out from his belly right here and have it come out. So now the classics are a little too big for that, but I have found DC figures fit really good in the mouth. And he also roars too, I think, maybe. I don't remember. There's something. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe his batteries are dead. Anyway, I think he used to roar. And this was actually the battle damage one. You can see it's got some marks on his legs. And I actually repainted him to get rid of the battle damage. Because at the time I couldn't find a non-battle damage one. Now I've found lots of non-battle damage ones. So he's gone through quite the paint regiment. And then the next one I got was also a Jurassic World dinosaur, which was also big and mammoth and beefy. And I thought this would have been my replacement for that dinosaur. But this one here has this big old hump right here where his neck joint is. When his neck's up, he looks really cool. When his neck's down, though, it just looks like he's a hunchback of Notre Dame kind of thing going on. And again, he's monstrous compared to like a standard classics figure. So it's kind of cool. As you can see there, here's one of the snake men. So the new one that someone showed me, it's got really big feet and the bump is located in the back instead of the front. Now I did see someone online who took the one I just had and switched it around and made the head the tail and the tail the head, which makes a lot of sense. But let's go ahead and open this up. And here's the directions. It says you have to attach the head and the tail. And it looks like it locks in. And it looks like once you locked it in, it is solid. Because it says one-time assembly. So I'm guessing once you click these into place, they're not coming undone. Which is always kind of scary, because then for easy storage or something else, you really just can't pull it back apart and store it in the small little spaces boxes. So let's go ahead and open this beast. Let me go and look at you guys' comments before I jump into it too far. Hey Seth, thanks for being here. Mike, thanks for being here. Jinx Caliber, thanks for being here. Jeff, thanks for being here. And so far it's all we have who has sounded off. Now there was somebody's birthday and I accidentally deleted their post. And I forgot their name. So if it's your birthday, happy birthday. I know it's a couple days late. I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. So happy belated birthday. And I forgot what your name was. Now, do bear in mind that all these videos are made for 13 and older. And so if you are under 13, you have to watch them with your parent. And your parent has to be the one who's logging into the account. If you're logging in by yourself, then it is actually against YouTube's rules and violates their thing for YouTube. There is a YouTube Kids, which you can look at. And I do have some videos on YouTube Kids. But for most of my videos are for 13 and over because they're on the main YouTube. All right, that's enough about that. Let's go ahead and open this up. Before I jump in too far, check out how cool that box looks. Look at the little ball on there they ride around in, which makes no sense. Because if you're riding over there with dino poop, you're going to have poop around this glass ball spinning around. That just is a bad design. I mean, it was cool in the movie, but, you know, in reality, you don't want your clear plastic ball to be zipping around big giant of cow pies, which are actually dinosaur pies. That would be a little crazy. Okay. So here we got the tail. It's the tail. Let me tell you, a long tail. I'm usually better at telling tall tales, but... And you can see the color of green that he is. Ooh, and here's the attachment piece. So it's like his tail wags back and forth once you get it put on. And I should make sure it goes up or down. It looks like it's only a one-way thing, so once I get the body out, I can tell which way it goes. I'm guessing it goes like this, because there's more paint apps on the top, and there's less paint apps on the bottom. So I'm guessing it goes this way so you can see all the paint apps. Alright. And that's it in the box. Out of the box. Now, there's a problem I already see. Pulling this out of the box right now. And that is the seam on the bottom is gapped right here. And I suppose it could be closed and glued. I'm kind of afraid to use a heat gun on it though, because a heat gun might actually cause the gap to become bigger. So I may not be keeping this one. I may be returning it and getting another one. I don't know. I'll see how much effort it is to close that gap. But I'm guessing the plastic got warped when they formed it, and that's what caused that gap right there. Now, normally this gap's not that huge of a deal, but it's also sharp, and my grandkids do play with these. So, hey, he's got a chip in him. He's been chipped. And it has the Jurassic World symbol on his foot too. All right, so you can tell which way they go because the feet are facing the right way. So there we go. Now let's pull out the head. Get your head out, man. Scissors are just not wanting to cut. I do have them upside down. Let's try them right side up. Hey, look at that. They almost worked that over right side up. And here is the head. It's got a little turtle mouth. So not the big, massive mouth that can actually swallow a figure like we saw with the He-Man toys. But, again, this is not made for He-Man. Oh, weird. Okay. So, I know it's where the head goes. It's pretty easy to tell. And it just slides in right like that. And yeah, it has a pretty solid snap once you get that on there. Ugh. And then the tail, you can see the inside how it's shaped, so it only goes one way. And again, it has that really satisfying click with no way to pull it out. I wish there was some kind of release button down here you could put a screwdriver in or something, just so you can take it off, take it back apart. Because what if you accidentally put the tail and the head on the wrong ends? That would really stink. All right, so there he is. He is big, he is beefy. He is a dinosaur. Let's go and compare him to a regular size figure like a Flea Man here. Flea Man. Now obviously he's not quite as monstrous as what we saw with the 80s toy, because it's not actually supposed to be a He-Man toy at all. It's Jurassic Park. So you can see how much bigger the toy was originally, but again, different reasoning for it. So these figures here are 12 inches, where the original figures were 15 inches to 16 inches. So they're actually bigger. And you can see it's kind of close because there's the giants right there. If you're going off the giants, but you can still see just how much more mammoth this is. And the throat was large enough to actually swallow a figure all the way through. So that was kind of a cool concept they had of the toy. So let's compare this to the other dinosaur. I order at least 3 to get free shipping on each one. Plus I love to customize. Let's see. Wow, you guys have been posting a lot back and forth. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the other dinosaur that's similar. This is awful. I forgot what this dinosaur is even called. If you know the name of this one, feel free to post it in the comments. Okay, so I already see a huge problem, and that is this one, the neck goes up and down, which is really cool because that is what you need for our He-Man dinosaur. Where this neck only goes back and forth, there is no up and down movement. So you can never have the scene where it's reaching down and plucking a classics figure out of off the ground. So you couldn't ever have that cool motion of it coming down, and you'd have to actually move the whole dinosaur down, where this one has that feature where you can actually bring the head down and back up. So out of the two, I actually like this one a bit better because it just feels more beefy. And look at the size difference. I'm still going to keep this one, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be my Brontosaurus that we saw with the Powers of Grayskull line. Now I lost my picture. There it is. Burp. Which I think technically this one would work like that guy did by reversing it, because the bump is actually in the back of this Brontosaurus. So I forget who was making the custom, but I know he turned everything around, turned the legs around, turned everything else, and made this the back and made this the front, which makes a whole lot more sense. And then you probably want to take and cut the neck off right about here and put a big head on it. And that would probably match the dinosaur a whole lot better. So turning it around, swapping all the stuff. Of course, then if you turn it around, you would lose the head articulation going up and down. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but anyway, because the tail articulation, let me go ahead and take a look at this, is just back. Actually, it's just back and forth on that too. Oops, in the way. There we go. It's just back and forth on the tail articulation on here. All right, so out of these 3 dinosaurs, which is my favorite? My favorite is still the T-Rex. Because the T-Rex... now, of course, this is the one I painted myself, a little extra. But the original paint job also had really a lot of detail like this one does. And the T-Rex just had so many features to it where he's balanced. So if you lean him forward, he still stays balanced on his 2 feet. And it's very clever the way they did this. So the tail is the same balance as the head. So if you keep his feet in these positions, you can rotate his whole body up and down and not lose that balance. So that's pretty cool. Now, of course, his head looks like it's pointing up to you, open his mouth. And that mouth is way more fierce and scarier than those small little itty bitty mouths we've seen on the other ones. All right, so let me go and put this T-Rex down here. So I'm running out of room. And I want to move the other one too so you guys can see the new one. Because that's what this video is all about. It's the new one. Quite the collection of dinosaurs. Now, Jurassic Park does have some other cool dinosaurs too. Or Jurassic World, I guess. One of them is this cool little Raptor. Now, this Raptor came as a separate action figure, and it has some controls on its tail. Here they are, which then makes it attack with light up eyes and scary. And then it has another button somewhere. Oh, it's on top. Which makes his hands clap. And I've taken and put, I don't know if it's Swift Wind or arrows. I think it was arrows. Saddle on him. And then I made a little spiked collar for him. And he is actually made for Skeletor to ride into battle. So that's why I have him. Oh, these knees are so tight on these Super 7 figures. They made the boot pins so short. Oh. There we go. And Skeletor's got his steed now that he can ride in Pre-Eternia. All right, where is my flashlight? I put it somewhere. This is the one that has the eyes that light up. If I put the light behind his head, I was going to do that. All right. So, fun with Pre-Eternia and all the dinos. Let's take a look at your guys' comments. I bet Hero used to get to eat tons of Brontosaurus burgers. There you go. I got an idea, Todd. I got an idea. Todd can open his own store, Heroes, Toys, and More. Actually, it's funny you should say that. If you go to hebro.com, I have a store called that. It's my Shapeways store only. And I have thought about actually opening up a different store. Part of the issue is, of course, the tax collection part of it. So that's where it gets kind of tricky. And so that's why I've just been doing eBay, because they take care of all that. All right, so I do want to show off my cool King Hiss. Normally King Hiss is a lighter green. I used the darker green King Hiss to make this one. And so I took the King Hiss that does not look like this and mixed them. Cut out the inside here so his arms doesn't have the fat armor look, so you can put his arms down. And then for his snake body, oh, this is the coolest part. Is in the cartoon in 2000X, he still has his back plate and his helmet around the snake part. So I added those. And speaking of Heroes Toys, this is actually available on my Shapeways, these two parts, if you wanted to order them and paint them yourselves. But I made an inverse of the snakes so they fit on his back. And there it is. So that way you can have it. So he still has his back piece and his upper piece. And then another fun one is I removed his hood. Because as you remember, for those that have had this figure in the past, he actually had a hood on the whole time. And so I did a bunch of swapping around and changed the hair out and everything else to make a hoodless version. And then I also got rid of the fat armor on here too by cutting out the sleeves on the side so that his arms can go down. Otherwise, he has this big bulky thing in the way of his arms that won't let him go down. So this is my new improved one. And I also I have his hood. Where is your hood, man? Oh well, I can't find it right now because it is. There it is. I put it in with all his guns. He-Man has guns. Now I did save another hooded head, so I could swap it back if I want to. And then I also, here's his hood, and I painted the inside black so that it can look darker. Yeah, it's weird. If you don't paint the inside of these things black, they don't look like they're a hole. It just looks weird because they're so small. So you got to paint the inside black. So now he can hang on to his hood. Like, you know, obviously it won't fit over his hair because that'd be a big monstrous hood. I'd have to remake it. But this way you can hold his hood like he's pulled it off. Put off your hood, man. There we go. And then I still have an extra hooded head that goes on him. I mean, it's kind of dumb. He doesn't need the hood. Not really. They can see the blonde hair. So it's not like he's hiding anything different. They can see his full face. I don't even get why he had to disguise himself. And then, of course, I have my custom King Grayskull I just finished. That many of you guys have seen. There he is. So he is taller than the regular figures now, like he's supposed to be. Use the Savage He-Man buck. And one last cool feature before I check your guys' comments again is notice Hero's orb. Now, we've seen, where are the orbs? There we go. So when you bought Hero, you got one of 3 orbs. You got either the green, or you got the red, or you got the purple. Now, the purple and red have the same number that we released, but the green has twice as many. So your odds of getting green are twice as high. So either you get a green, or you get a red or a purple. So that's pretty much what the ratio was that was released. So a friend of mine, he made this for me, and this is glow in the dark. You guys should have guessed that already, because of course you guys know I love glow in the dark stuff. Lights off. So let's go ahead and check out his glow in the dark orb. Let me charge it up. And bam. There it is. Glow in the dark. Because I thought that'd be cool to have. Again, I don't know why Mattel didn't do that. That would have been a cool feature. Alright. Let me go and check out your guys' comments. I've been ignoring you guys for a while. You can make so much cool stuff and put Mattel out of business and take over Masters of the Universe and then go after Star Wars and have the best of both worlds. That'd be fun, man. It's so weird that Hero is King Grayskull's son in the Masters of the Universe Revelation continuity. Yeah, that is weird because because Hero's like completely white and King Grayskull's not. But okay, whatever. Todd, can you check and see if the Origins Moto figure can fit through the secret passage hole of the Snake Mountain there? If the Origins... Sure. Lights on. Oh. His head hits a little bit, but he does fit. You may have to squat a little bit to get through there, but there you go, man. There is inside the hole. Hopefully that's the question you're asking. Now, I do actually show Beastman walking through that hole in my stop motion animation. So, but of course it's from the other side. He's walking into the castle. Low battery. No. Yep, one can stand in there. No Rick tonight. Yep, Jeff, no problem. Okay, let's see. Skeletor ride the T-Rex. Yeah, I could have Skeletor on the T-Rex. In fact, I did do that in the video when I first showed the T-Rex and how cool he was. I did actually put Skeletor on him and had my 2000X He-Man battling the T-Rex. It was kind of a fun video. But I kind of wanted to do this because I've always liked the Raptor that they had Skeletor ride in the 2000X toy line. And so that's why I made this, because it is just kind of cool. Let's see. If Mattel can make these now for Jurassic World, they could certainly make these. Make a Dinosaur. Thank you, Giantosaur for the power of Grayskull. If only that would be so cool. Let's see. That is one tall enough to battle Snake Mountain Snake. Nope. The T-Rex is close, but not quite. All right. So I'm not going to read all your guys' comments. You got a lot of them. Todd, did you order 8 Wave 8 from Target? I got mine Saturday. Nice, Mike. Yeah, actually, Colossal was sold out by the time I got to Target to check it out. So I still have my Big Bad Toy order, so it'll be good for now. So I will be waiting. Okay, I guess it's time to figure out what color's what. It's been bugging me which one is for which. I made a website with them on there, so it's time to go to that site and check it out. See if I can find it. Let's see. Dashpro.com. There we go. Oh, wrong thing. See, here's Hebrews Toys right there. Hebrews Toys. That's not what I was looking for. So if you do go to he-bro.com and you click the Shapeways link right there, that button right there, that will take you to Hebrews Toys, which is just a bunch of Shapeways stuff, but that's not what I was looking for. All right, getting closer. I made a price guide a long time ago. And I think if I go to my home page, I can search in price. Search. Yep. Hebrews Moto Price Guide. There we go. And there it is. Okay, the green is protection, the red is defense, and the purple was healing. So if you can imagine, the green can shoot like bolts at people. Boo! And then the purple, the red. The red creates like a giant shield or bubble around whoever he's trying to defend. So this is like a shield generator. And the purple is to heal. So like when just like when She-Ra heals, it's the power of Grayskull healing people. So there you go. Those are the colors. Now, when I first got these, I used to pretend like Hero would grab the one that he was going to use for that day. And I thought, you know what? That's kind of lame. Because he has to decide ahead of time. Do I want protection, defense, or healing, right? Actually, I got that backwards, actually. I think the defense one's actually one that shoots. The red one shoots, the green one makes the bubble. I had that backwards. And so then I decided later on that they change colors as he needs it. So he goes out to battle, and he has whatever color he needs. And when he changes the color, that's when it becomes either protection, defense, or healing. So he doesn't go and chooses when he wants, like Batman chooses either the snow suit or the grappling hook or whatever else suit he's going to pick, the one with the giant suction cups or whatever. It's that when he's in the midst of battle, whoop, it will change the color he needs. And red is to shoot people, green is to create a bubble of defense, and purple is to heal people. So that's kind of how I eventually ended up doing it, because it makes more sense, right? Because why would you go into battle with the healing one, you know, or go into battle with just the protection when you're wanting to attack too? So that's kind of my thought process. And then of course I have the glowing one, and I pretend like the glowing one basically is whatever I want it to be at that moment. So it could be any one of the three. I didn't actually set up a separate one just for it, but there you go. So if you want, you can take a snapshot of that. So there is the 3: protection, defense, and healing. It's funny, I remember I made this site. I wanted to know what all the figures cost, so every single week I would go and look at all the old eBay prices, and I had all the figures in order that we got them. And then this one day I just stopped doing it. So last time I did it was Gygor. He was the last time I did it. It just got too much to keep it updated all the time. But even at the beginning, the figures started going kind of high. I mean, look, King Grayskull, you know, was 170 unopened and 120 as a loose figure. But still, these prices now would be nice. Crazy, crazy. And look at this. Even the different colors went for different prices. So if the seller didn't say what it was, it was around 27. If it was green, it was 25, and red and purple were 30. That's just funny. Yep. I forgot what the asterisk stood for. Oh, the Comic-Con version. That's right. And the Comic-Con version just had the little symbol in his chest in the corner after he took his armor off. All right. Yeah, I remember people would take and they would shine a light in the back of the box and try to look and see what color they had. So they'd take these bright flashlights and shine it behind the box, and what do I have? And these were always closed, so you'd have to hopefully had enough of a gap so you could see what color it was, so you could sell it mint in the package for the color, you know. And of course, if you had green, just don't tell anyone what color it is, because they go for more if they don't know. Because green's $2 less, man. But yep. I always wish that they were kind of spring loaded, so as they would spin around, they would open up, and then when they would stop spinning, they would close again automatically. I don't know if you've ever seen those toys they have that do that, where you spin them, and as you spin them, they pop open and show what's inside, and then as soon as you stop spinning, they spring back closed. I think that'd have been cool. They could have figured it out somehow, but anyway, it doesn't work that way. So you just got to close it yourself. Because that way, then it'd be like they has to keep the power in there or something, you know, until he's ready to release it. And then at that moment he releases it, then it's opened. The power is inside. I wonder if the original 80s toy was supposed to be like that toy that you spun around to open them up. Because that was pretty popular back at that time. Hey, Rick made it, huh? Why did I buy that vintage Road Ripper? Hey, Rick, hang on to the vintage Road Ripper. It's going to be worth more money. Just hang on to it, man. You know, things just keep going up. And someday someone's going to say, you know what? I want the original one. I don't want this Origins one. So just hang on to it, man. Oh, and soon I'm going to do a video on fat armor. Fat armor was one of my pet peeves, as you guys know, and I have found lots of ways to fix it. As you have seen just today, I did the fix on this one, and I've done fixes on lots of other ones. So I don't mind if their armor is supposed to be armor, like this guy here. You know, obviously it's a big chunk of armor, so it makes sense that it's big and bulky and fat. But when it's supposed to be a t-shirt or a cloth, it just looks like he's, you know, just not hitting the gym like he's supposed to. So, all right. Anyway, let me check the last final questions before I call it. My Road Ripper came with the cord. Nice. If you have the official cord, that is great. There are some other toys that cords do work for the Road Ripper. I think one of them is one of the Batman toys they had at one time. Works with the Road Ripper. But because you wanted it. Wow, cool. You got that huge dinosaur that reminds me of the huge unreleased Moto Dino. Yep, and that was the plan. So I forget who told me to get it. Somebody who's here on my YouTube channel sent me a message on Facebook and told me about it. And at first I thought it'd be the same body as the other dinosaur, but it does not. Do you have a vintage Orco with the cord? No. I used to, but not anymore. That staff never stayed closed. Oh, you are right. I have gone through so many of these staffs, probably close to 20 of them, until I found ones that could close and stay closed. So you are right. Over half of them do not stay closed. And if you bend them at all, you will lose that ability to close them. So I have gone through so many heroes and so many staffs, which is why I still have 4 staffs left over. But yeah, them staying closed is a huge problem. So if you have one that closes, you're lucky. It's a rare thing that they close, especially if you have more than one. Oh, I made a dare. Oh, my custom dare. And he has the sword that they actually were going to make for the original release before they decided to make it blue, the Star Sword. But here is my, and if you haven't guessed, this is just heat shrink tubing that I painted brown. As you guys know, heat shrink tubing works great for stuff. And so here is my dare. How dare you? And what's funny is Dare actually turns lighter in color when he transforms into Hero, as opposed to Prince Adam, it turns darker when he transforms into He-Man. So, kind of crazy. I never saw dinosaurs in the mini comics or Filmation. Actually, if you look at the Power of Grayskull's mini comics, they have dinos in there. So they travel back in time. And so what's funny is He-Man has traveled back in time to Pre-Eternia, and he's also traveled forward in time to New Adventures. So He-Man is a bona fide time traveler going back to the past and to the future. And both times, you know, kind of chasing Skeletor kind of thing. So, yeah. There you go. Anyway, I am enjoying my figures way too much. They are cool. There we go. There's my snake armor. I almost said King Hiss. King Grayskull. King Grayskull. Now, it does bother me now that I have this giant King Grayskull, because now I have all these customs that I made at one time that are all now short. And so I actually do not put my custom King Grayskull with my other figures. He actually sits on the shelf all by himself, because I'm not going to change all the rest of my King Grayskulls, and it kind of bums me out that, you know, I have this really cool larger custom one now, but yet, you know, he matches the aesthetic of the other figures now because he's supposed to be taller, but at the same time he doesn't match the other King Grayskulls that I already have. So let's see. Oh, and if you happen to go to my Shapeways store, I have this cool attachment which makes his claw long for catching snakes, because you don't want a short claw when you're trying to catch a snake. That does not make sense. And the cartoon, they had long ones too. So, ka-ching. All right. Anyway, let me look at the last final comments. I have another Savage body. It's extra if you need it. Hey, thanks, Mike. It's very nice of you and very kind of you. Yeah, I'm not going to rip apart a snake armor to make a taller one. There's just too many moving parts. For one, the legs themselves are actually shorter. So even if I swap the legs out, it'd take a lot of work to create a full on snake armor uh, King, King Grayskull, because you can see the hips are at two different heights. Oops, sorry, the hips are two different heights, so you'd have to actually re-sculpt all this onto one leg, and then even the boots are different heights. That's crazy. So, and these boots aren't removable anyway, so you'd have to take them apart at the knee or do a lot of dremeling. Too much effort for just little return. So I do appreciate the offer, but I'm not going to go back and revamp and make a tall snake armor King Grayskull. Todd, can you make Orco coins with a 3D printer like vintage? So Pop Actor Rick, if you want, contact me on Facebook, and maybe we can figure something out. I'm going to need all the pictures and everything else of exactly how they looked. And it should be really easy to make. I mean, it's just a bunch of circles that look like stacked coins. I actually have thought about it before. That stinks. So he'll be short forever. Yes, he'll be short forever. Yep. So, yep. If we can, get some good pictures of what it looked like, it'd be really easy to make those. It'd probably take you about an hour to design it on the computer, and probably about 2 or 3 hours for it to print. And then all I have to do then is just make the decals of them. I don't. Yep, we'll have to find the stickers. That's the trick. Yep, we'll have to find the stickers, and then after you find the stickers, we'll have to figure out the sizes of the coins. So, being I'm not an Orco fan, I'm not willing to go buy the coins unless I had a lot of people contact me and say, yes, I want that. Then I might go try to find the coins in order to measure them and make them the exact same. All right. Oh, there is cool. I know it's just basically a Prince Adam almost, but they did show him on the Power of Grayskull's box art, so I want the exact replica of the stickers. Yep, Toy Polly might have it. Yeah, I remember this guy from a long time ago. His name was Toy Jesus, and he used to have all the stickers too. But that was a long time ago. All right. Anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Oh, I forgot to bring Titus up. Oh, what is Pre-Eternia without Titus? Oh. Many of you guys have seen him before. This is my custom Titus. He is made from the 12-inch Mondo He-Man. He is big. Dun dun dun. There he is. I wanted one with more articulation, so that's why I use this one. Unfortunately, I could not get the wrist cuffs I wanted for him, but he's still pretty cool. I was able to use the shorts, the armor, the head, and the boots, the original Titus. Now, the boots look kind of weird because his legs are much smaller than the Titus toy. So I had to use a bunch of O-rings and heat shrink tubing to stack it up. But still, you can see his calf muscles are much smaller than the original Titus. Like he's wearing his dad's boots or something. And his head looks a little big on him too. A little bit of a bobblehead, but still it's cool. Where is my other Titus? We can compare them. Hold on, he's sitting right over here. I just can't reach him. He's out of range, man. Out of range. So you can see the size of his calf muscles in comparison. So yeah, I probably should have waited and used a different buck to create him. Little bit scrawnier version. Do you know if Classics Fisto armor will work on Masterverse Fisto? I think we had this question already, and I think it had to do with his chest was thicker in the Masterverse. I think we tried it already in one of the videos. I think I remember pulling apart the armor and doing that. All right, where is Fisto? There he is. And see, it's funny because they're narrower this way, but they're thicker this way. So if you're to take and measure, where is Spare Parts Man? Ooh. So you can see here on Spare Parts Man that their chests are not. All right, hold on. Take your head off, man. Whew, his neck almost cracked on that one. So you can see right here that their chests are actually wider this way than on the Classics. And so because of that, and the chests and the armor for Fisto is a lot harder armor, it won't fit over this guy's chest. Now it will fit this way, but unfortunately it's got to fit over the front too. So these are actually wider this way, but these are wider that way. So that is the issue. You can see from the top view, especially from his back to his chest, is actually a wider throw than from his back to his chest. And part of it too is because his back kind of curves, so it gives more of a bump on his back here, where this neck does not curve the same way, so it has less of a bump. So that also adds to the beefiness of the size of the figure. All right, so no, you can't use. Is that the question, or is it Revelation on? Oh, let me double check the question. All right, let's see. No, I can't find your question. Yes, it kind of reminds me of Conan. Actually, it's funny is when my wife first saw Titus, she thought it was Fabio. She goes, it was the old one from the 80s, and she thought it was, she kind of joking, she kind of messed with me for a while. Is that Fabio? No, it's not Fabio. Yes, so Classics Fisto armor will not work on Masterverse. But let's see if it works the other way, just for kicks. I forget. So you can already feel there's a lot of looseness in the upper part of the chest. So let's see if we can close this on there. And so it does work the other direction. So you could use the Revelation armor to make a custom Fisto in Classics. So you could go the other direction, but unfortunately, you can't go this way. You can see you can't even close the armor all the way. It's just stuck. Yep. So the cool thing is if you don't have a Fisto yet, you could grab a He-Man figure and you could take all the parts and stick them onto a Classics body and make your own Fisto, which would not be half bad at all. Not really. I mean, look, we almost got a Fisto already just like that. Just from having this fist from Origins. You could paint it silver. And that's a really good way to make yourself a Classics Fisto. Pretty inexpensive too. I should make a video about that. How to make an inexpensive Classics Fisto by ripping apart the other Fisto. Oh well, these sides are always hard to reattach. Yeah, Jetflex, I don't know why you don't get notified when I'm live. A lot of people keep telling me that. They're not getting notified when I'm live. Make sure your settings are right on your phone to actually get notifications. And then also click ring the bell as well. And hopefully out of those two, it should do it. Yeah. And it's funny, it only took me a few seconds to make him because I already had the fist on him anyway. So, ooh, and if you had the right body shade, I mean, if you were to grab a different figure, you know, it could work pretty good. Nice. All right. I still don't have a Fisto someday. Well, Black Phoenix 77, you now know how to get yourself a classic Fisto. Buy one of these, tear it apart, and then get that fist from the wrestling figures. I forget which character had this fist. And it literally goes over his hand, which is so cool because you don't have to even take his hand off. And then use the armor in the head. The armor in the head. All right. Anyway. Bummer they didn't drop a Revelation Clamp Champ yet so we can make a Hebrew Revelation figure. That would be cool. That would be cool. Anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. So let me go ahead and end this one. Target has a ton of Fisto and Mossmans. There you go. Drool over that Fabio. You know, you can you imagine if we made a He-Man movie, you know, like in the 90s and used Fabio to either play one of the characters, especially if you played Titus. Having He-Man travel back to Pre-Eternia, that would have been awesome. But all right, Don. Thanks. I appreciate it. You have a good one too. Bye now.